What's up, everybody? Today I'm just gonna be pressing a quick couple shirts. I just want to pretty much talk to you guys on certain things that I've been thinking about. So stay tuned right after this intro.
Let go of everything.
Thank you for watching that intro, guys. If you're a returning person, what's up? If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can stay up with me and see everything that I do. Today, I just want to talk about a couple things. I actually belong to a forums that, a lot of people do embroidery, do sublimation and stuff like that. And, sometimes I comment on there and I try to help others out, or vice versa. Sometimes I'm looking for information on certain things. So one of my main things that I want to talk about is embroidery. I mean, I'm all for it. Like I said, I get phone calls all the time about embroidery. I don't have the machine to do it, and I would love to start doing it. And like other videos that I have, I talked about, talking to a rep. But at this point in time, with the economy the way it is, I don't think it's the right time for me. Some weeks are good, some weeks are bad. Some weeks I make great money, and there's weeks that only 1 or 2 shirts walk in that whole week. So, and I think it's a lot to do with the economy. I don't think it has to do with, actually people not buying anything or whatever the case may be. So I'm a little skeptical about investing in all that money and having a, whatever it is, $200 to $400 a month bill. I think even if you lease the equipment, you're still up there, in the 300 range. So that's like, for me, don't get me wrong, it's like a car payment. I mean, I don't feel that I should go in that kind of depth, even though I get customers calling. But what happens if it starts off good and then all of a sudden that's it? You have no more. So there's a lot of things that I have to consider when getting into embroidery. Now, on the web forum that I'm on, I see, and I'm gonna be honest, I see half of these people, or I should say 3/4 of the people that are buying these machines are actually reselling them. I mean, they're buying them, and in less than a year, they're trying to get rid of them for what they owe. I don't know if it's an issue because they, pretty much like I was talking, they just turned around and brought it without even having the customer or the customer base, I should say, on the machine, or they just thought that it was going to be something that they were going to make money off of, and it didn't work the way they wanted to. So it's kind of scary when you see stuff like that, because you're like, okay, well, am I going to buy this machine and it's going to go great for me, or am I going to buy this machine and it's going to sit and become a paperweight to me, and maybe I might get a couple sales on it, or it might just, it might bring me gold. Who knows, But at this point in time, I'm just waiting. I'm going to wait and see just how everything goes. I mean, I know the economy is gonna hit rock bottom soon. I mean, there's so many things going on in this world that I don't know. I don't see the economy picking up. I think it's gonna get worse. So I'm gonna hold off. Not only that, man, I don't know. I think it's kind of expensive for these machines. These guys are charging anywhere between $13,000 to $15,000 for these embroidery machines. And granted, man, they're cool as shit, man. I'll tell you, they're cool as shit to me. I just don't understand how it is so expensive. It's just the price of a used car, you know. It's like, even if you're buying it used, you're still, you know, looking at about $9,000 to $10,000, because unless you're buying something old, and you're looking at about $5,000-6,000, and you know, I don't know if it has. I think it goes by stitch count and stuff like that. So it's scary, man. Very scary when you buy something used, especially without warranty. For me personally, I wouldn't buy anything without warranty, because if that machine goes down and I have a run of, you know, 30, 40, 50 hats, I want to be able to call, you know, my rep and be like, I need service, you know, I need service right away. I got to get this job done, whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's my scary thing. I don't think I will buy anything used. For me, it would have to be something along the lines of new. But yeah, man, I don't understand all these people, and I know there's a humongous learning curve, and I hear it from all the other people that are on YouTube, everybody else that teaches about these embroidery machines. They're all saying the same thing. You know, it's a big learning curve, and you know, and you have to learn it. That's point blank. And I can deal with it, because I'm a pretty fast learner, and I can get in there and I can start, you know, digging into there. Even if I got to go to somebody that does embroidery, I will learn. I will definitely put the effort to learn. Or, you know, I'll just do like everybody else. I'll send my stuff out to a digitizer and get it done and be able to rock and roll. But I mean, still learning the process of the machine and learning how to send your you know, or put in your design and stuff like that. It's a learning curve. So, you know, for somebody that buys something and you don't know how to use it, it might sit for a little bit, and you're not going to be making money off of that. But you know what? They still want their money at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month, whatever the case may be. So, you know, it's just food for thought, man. Think about it before you get into it, and you know, you dish out your credit, or because honestly, I mean, most of the people that are on here watching, they're small or just starting out, and they don't have the $15,000 to just go and pay cash. You know, not even me. I mean, yeah, I might have half of it that I can go put down, but I don't have that kind of bank, pretty much. You know, I don't have that kind of money just sitting around. I got 2 kids to feed, you know, plus I do shipping, I do all this and that. So, you know, I got to make sure that there's money in there. Or if I got to buy shirts and the customer hasn't come yet and he wanted a shirt, I got to have money there for materials, for shirts and stuff like that. So I don't have that kind of big bankroll to just say, hey, I'm going to dish out $15,000 cash and I'm going to go buy it. It's just not me, and I wouldn't advise you guys to do it. If you guys think you have the work and you think that you can get into that kind of debt, then go for it. The machine is dope, man. The machine, I think, is the most best thing in the world. Me personally, I love embroidery. I would take embroidery before anything else, especially on a hat. You know, it just looks more professional, looks more unique. So for me, yeah, embroidery would be the top of the line type of deal, and it is a money maker. I'm not gonna say it's not. It is a money maker, but it takes time to learn the process. So hold that thought, guys. Let me go get the other set of shirts and back prints. And all right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. As I was getting the other shirts, UPS came to pick up some packages that I had to send out. So where was I? Yes, embroidery. So guys, you know, make your right judgment on that, and think about, you know, the cost of it, if it's going to be efficient for you before you get into any debt. Right now, it's just my opinion. I think it's the wrong time to actually get in debt. I mean, for some of you guys that have been doing it for a little bit and you think that's the next step, then go for it. You know, if you got customers and you already know how to use the machine and you know how to go through it, just go for it. I mean, I try not to buy any anything that I don't need at this very point in time, because to get in debt is not good. Another thing I wanted to talk about is a group that I belong to about DTF. I belong to like 3 or 4 groups on DTF. Those of you that know me know I have a brand new printer, desktop printer that I want to convert, and I'm just in there just seeing and seeing what the problems that the people are having. So on that note, I just want to say, if you guys are not mechanically inclined or know how to deal with the printers, don't get into it, because there's a lot of maintenance involved in DTF from what I see. Now, this is just my opinion because I don't have one up and running. I do have to convert one, but it's not up and running, and I can't tell you the issues that it's gonna create for me in the future. But just from what I see from the from the different groups, for me it's like a nightmare. I mean, you don't know what you're getting into. You could be running fine today, and tomorrow you have a head went bad, or a board went bad, or a ribbon strip went bad. There's so many things that can happen to these printers. So do your homework and find out. I mean, these things are not cheap. I was lucky that I have a friend that has a few of these brand new, and I was able to buy the 1400 Epson for very cheap. Well, I don't want to say cheap, because they're never cheap. Even 1800 is going to cost you at least $1,000 used. So they're definitely not cheap. But for the price that they are brand new, and for the price that you're already buying it already converted and ready to go, yeah, they're not that cheap. I even seen a few of them, like the Prestige, especially DTG Pro has a few of them that are nice. They're up there in the 3, 4, 5, and then you want to get into commercial, you're looking at about 6 to 13. So yeah, they can get costly, and then the ink is not so bad. I think the ink is okay for the printing. But just remember, it's a lot of learning. You got to make sure that you have everything down packed, because if you don't, you're in for it. And it's a lot of learning on that as well, because there's certain things that you have to do to have that print come out nice with the white background. It has to be enough white background, it has to be enough glue, it has to be cured at a certain temperature. So there's a lot of things involved when it comes to DTF. So do your homework, find out what's best for you. If that route is good for you, then hey, if you want to try it out like I'm doing, I'm gonna try it out and see if it's gonna stop me from having to weed out vinyl all the time, or to pretty much have in-house. That way I don't have to order transfers. Then it's gonna save me money, and it's gonna put more money in my bank, and vice versa. So think about the different ways and methods that you guys use to print. Like I said, I order transfers. I like to do vinyl. I like to do certain things because my customers ain't that picky. And most of the time when my customers need something, they need something, I don't want to say fast, but they want something that's either cheap, because their shirts are going to get ruined. So it all depends on what the customer wants. If the customer doesn't like the vinyl feel, then I will go ahead and order some plastisol transfers, or something that's gonna, make it a nice feel for them. So guys, I don't want to make this video long, and I don't want to ramble about things, but just start off small. Get yourself a heat press, get yourself a small printer for $200, convert it into a sublimation, and do it that way for right now until you get your customer base, and keep saving the money. The closer you get to the amount of money that you want, then you start ordering different machinery to make your life a little easier. That's my bottom line. That's the way I feel how to do things. I started off like that 3.5 years ago, and it's been working out pretty good for me. It pays the bills. Yes, I have this heat press. I have a hat heat press. I also have another heat press in the garage, but that one is a little temperamental. I don't like using it too much. It is bigger than this one. I'm on hold, I want to say, or back ordered on a heat press. I don't want to say the name because I want to be able to bring it out and show you guys what I got and how it works and my thoughts on it. So that's why I don't want to mention the name. But yeah, man, start out small. Get your clientele around your area and go from there. I mean, don't do what these people are doing on those sites, because they're getting themselves in a $15,000-$16,000 debt, and less than a year, man, they're selling those equipments and they're getting out of the business, or they went to go look for another job. Unfortunately, before I did this, as some of you guys know, I was a tractor trailer driver. I was a CDL Class A driver. I've owned 2 trucks. Up to this day, I still own 1 truck and a trailer. I sold 1 unit. And the money for me was good, but it was just getting to that point that my health wasn't up to par, so I had to find other measures to do other things. And I used to do this with friends of mine in New Jersey, and they still do screen printing. That's where I get my transfers from. They're still in business, and I also got the printer off of them for the DTF. So yeah, I still deal with them, and I pretty much came to this game learning and also knowing a little bit. So it's not something that I started off, from scrap, pretty much. So screen printing, I do know how to do. I don't have the equipment, because those equipments, you don't want to buy a cheap equipment and then later on you're gonna have to upgrade. So I don't have the amount of money for that either. That's $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 for a nice size equipment, and the inks and all that. But once you get everything else is cheap, and it's fast production as well. But just to get your setup for the screen printing, it's costly. So guys, man, do your homework. If you like doing this, and if you're doing this as a business and you love doing this side of the business, go for it. Make your money, man. Make your money. There's money to be out there. Clothing will never go out of everybody's clothing. It will never go out. It's just like food. So go ahead and get your feet wet. Start out small. Don't go and you listen to all these other people and you're getting into debt because of them. You don't want to do that. Start small, build yourself up. Like I said, it's very easy to learn. If you got to take some classes to learn the other parts of it, then do it. I did. You can do it. So guys, that was just a little bit of a talk I wanted to talk about, these different forms and the 2 different print methods that I think that is a little bit, it's good. I don't want to say it's bad, but I think that you guys should think about it before you get into it. I hate to see everybody selling their equipment and getting out of it just because they're not committed to it. So think about it. Get your feet wet, do what you got to do, and then think if it's right for you, then move on forward with buying equipment and stuff like that. Eitherwise, just do it as a hobby, do whatever you can. But if you're gonna make it a business, eventually you're gonna get to that point. Everybody does. So on this note, guys, thank you for watching and hearing me. I didn't want to ramble, but I guess I was rambling. I probably repeated myself a lot. I didn't want to. I apologize. But on this note, have a blessed day. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.